My name is hAirt, and my traditional art is Oraniacht Eranchanos, or singing in the old style. Well, I was first exposed to the Irish language when I was in my late teens, going to festivals up in Chicago and Milwaukee. And that was probably one of the first places I was exposed to native traditional singers, especially of the sean-nós style. One in particular, Anya Nichonacha, or Nan Chamish, as she's known like in singing circles. Having access to people who are coming over from Ireland specifically for the festival, and that built connections for me back in Ireland. So when I did move to Ireland, I had kind of open access to some of those communities in ways that an American just traveling there on their own might not have. I first moved to Ireland when I was 19, and I landed in Galway, which is in the west coast of Ireland, and it was very formative. I knew kind of deep down that I had to learn the language in order to do justice to the songs. So when I went to the University of Galway, I was definitely focused on understanding more the context of the language and culture.
My name is Geneviève Galarneau, and I've been practicing sean-nós singing.
Chor mission mo hand in your stockings a corn, yell hope and yet our is he head and lorna.
My grandfather was always interested in his Scottish and Irish heritage, and so I had a lot of exposure to that growing up.
Hand in your gotcha, or hand in your smartiga false too.
It was in the first week of a year-long program studying Ireland that I was first exposed to sean-nós singing, and I knew instantly that's what I wanted to be doing. In America, it would be old-timey music. In Ireland, it is sean-nós, the old style. It was the bringing together of a lot of disparate traditions of Irish language singing under one term.
The tradition is very old. You know, the Irish language has been around for at least 3 millennia. A lot of our peopling of the island came from people from the Iberian Peninsula and the Mediterranean. And so the style of singing with all this melismatic ornamentation, a lot of people hear it and they're like, oh, that sounds like Bulgarian music or Arabic music or Indian music. And it's very true, because a lot of that probably did come from the movement of Neolithic people into Ireland. And so sharing some of the features of style with it would draw people to understand that it is quite old. And the fact that it's been maintained even through Ireland's independence and through modernization kind of shows just how deeply rooted it is.
It was really something to go to Ireland and to meet with great, fantastic, celebrated singers, and their interest in meeting with me was because I was an American that was committed to learning their language, and this is something that they often don't see in the young people that live in Ireland. And I was also traveling to the Gaeltachts, which are the regions where Irish or Scottish Gaelic are spoken. And I was meeting with tradition bearers and talking with them and sharing songs and learning the delivery of the songs in the particular dialects. A lot of these songs are ways of passing on traditional histories of places.
I think any person that's wanting to pick up traditions needs to be responsible to the community from whom they're receiving those traditions. And quite often, extractive processes tend to be more commonplace. And I think a lot of tradition bearers are used to that kind of behavior.
I also have a responsibility to that community to ensure that the way that I go about being a tradition bearer supports their objectives for the tradition, which is to keep their language alive. This shows young people in Ireland that there is value to their culture in a larger globalized culture that is constantly telling them otherwise. For the old people who have seen their world shrink and shrink year by year as native speakers die, it shows them that they as tradition bearers have value. Not only does their culture have value, but they have value.
Oru handen ya goche, oru handen ya smariga falls to.
Even though I'm geographically isolated from Ireland and from those communities, the singing of those songs connects me with them.
When I first heard sean-nós, there was a mixture of both excitement over the beauty of the tradition and also grief. I didn't have the language, and also the reasons that that language was absent, which is colonialism. Participating in traditional culture in societies that do not support tradition is an act of resistance. I will consider myself blessed if I can continue learning about this tradition for the rest of my life. I will never learn about it all. There will always be new things to learn.
I'm looking forward to seeing what this mentorship, Geneviève, and how Genevieve's work and that toolkit can go about further affecting and impacting our community in really positive ways, hopefully around traditional singing and language.